Today, we're diving into something called the architecture of stillness. And honestly, we're going to be completely shattering the illusion that exhausting, drenched in sweat workouts automatically equal real-world strength. Because, well, they just don't. So let's dive into this, right? You've probably been conditioned to believe that if a workout doesn't feel like an absolute crush session, it simply isn't working. You're out there hitting the gym 5 days a week, pushing yourself to the absolute limit. You're doing everything right, but somehow, your back still aches, your shoulders feel super tight, and honestly, you don't actually feel truly strong in your daily life. It's an incredibly frustrating plateau. Well, here is exactly where the disconnect happens. Your high-intensity routine, it's likely the exact thing keeping you weak. Crazy, right? But it's because you're building on a fundamentally broken foundation. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. You're piling hard, aggressive effort on top of a structure that just isn't properly aligned or activated. And when you do that, you aren't building resilience at all. You're just cooking up a recipe for injury. The problem literally isn't your effort level. It's how your body is adapting to our modern lifestyle. So the crucial point here is understanding a little concept called compensation. Think about this. Sitting for 8 hours a day in a chair literally shuts off your main muscles, or it forces them to tighten up. Then you head straight to the gym and try to bang out these hard exercises. Because your main powerhouses are fast asleep, your body brilliantly, but unfortunately dangerously, uses momentum or forces smaller, much weaker muscles in your neck and lower back to compensate and basically take the hit. You're doing the heavy lifting, sure, but you're doing it with entirely the wrong tools. And that brings us to this truly fascinating concept, the architecture of stillness. Look, most people chase the sweat, right? But true strength isn't actually about how much you move or how fast you can thrash around throwing weights. It's about how perfectly still you can stay under high tension. It's all about those static holds that force your body to build the kind of deep internal stability that makes all of your other dynamic exercises feel surprisingly easy. Let's look at how we actually build this architecture from the ground up. Okay, let's start with your core. Now, most people think a hardcore workout means repping out hundreds of sit-ups or surviving high-intensity burpees. But forget the six-pack aesthetics for just a second. Your core is the central link. It connects literally every single upper and lower body movement you make. When that link is weak, your lower back or your hips have to step in and try to stabilize everything. And that right there, that is exactly why you feel so tight and achy after a long day on your feet. So to fix this central link and do it without falling into the trap of using momentum, you need to master a high-tension isometric hold called the hollow body hold. Here's how it works. You lie on your back, press your lower spine hard into the floor, and just lift your legs and shoulders a few inches. It sounds simple, right? But I promise you, it exposes every single weakness your body has been hiding. Aim for just 20 seconds of perfect, shaking stillness. This is how you build incredible, unshakable structural integrity. Now, this structural weakness feeds directly into our next massive problem, glute amnesia. Yep, your glutes can literally forget how to do their job. Because of our seated lifestyles, our hip flexors stay short and tight all day long. This causes the glutes, which, by the way, should be the absolute powerhouse of your entire body, to just shut off. And this guarantees that your lower back will suffer. If you're doing heavy squats but your glutes aren't awake, your poor spine is taking the brute force of that weight every single time. Reversing this requires another seemingly boring but incredibly powerful static move. You need a glute bridge isometric hold. You lie on your back and lift your hips up into a perfectly straight line. Now hold it for 30 to 45 seconds. But here is the secret sauce. You have to physically touch your glutes. Seriously, if they don't feel rock hard to the touch, you're cheating. You're probably using your hamstrings or your spine to hold you up instead of your actual powerhouse. This hold teaches your body to extend from the hips properly, making every hard move you do in the future vastly safer. But listen, even with your core strong and your glutes finally awake and firing, we run into another trap, and that trap is speed, the danger of momentum. If you can bang out 20 super fast push-ups, you probably think you're pretty strong, right? But in reality, you're likely just using momentum to completely bypass the actual difficult work of the movement. You're essentially just bouncing out of the hardest parts. To build true functional strength, you have to increase your time under tension. Try a slow tempo push-up next time. Lower yourself over a full 4 to 5 seconds. This forces your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps to carry the full load for every single millimeter of the descent. If you do this, just 6 to 8 slow reps will severely fatigue your muscles far more than 20 fast ones. And more importantly, it trains your body to stay stable under a constant load, which is exactly what protects your joints out there in the real world. Next up, we really need to look at how the types of exercises you choose might be masking your hidden flaws. There is a massive difference between bilateral and unilateral movements. So-called hard workouts often hide your weaknesses because we tend to rely on bilateral moves, where both legs are working together like a standard squat. But think about your actual daily life for a second. The moment you climb a flight of stairs, or even just step off a curb, you're working unilaterally. You're working one leg at a time. And this matters so much because if one leg is even slightly weaker than the other, your body immediately compensates with rotation. And that unwanted rotation puts terrible shredding stress right onto your hips and knees. By doing unilateral exercises, like driving through one heel in a step-up or holding a static split squat, you reveal exactly where your stability is lacking. Fixing these gaps builds what we call single-leg confidence, which is completely required to make your fluid daily tasks feel natural and totally pain-free. Finally, let's talk about the cardio misdirection. Yep, let's talk about the dreaded treadmill. Because if you think hard work simply means sweating through a cardio session until a machine tells you you've burned enough, well, you might need to think again. Sweating on a treadmill is absolutely not going to fix a broken foundation of mobility and stability. It just isn't. You simply cannot outrun a bad foundation. And you know those cardio machines with the glowing calorie counters that totally dictate your workout? Well, they are often straight up lying to you about how much energy you're actually burning. Research shows these machines can overestimate your calorie burn by as much as 42%. That is a huge margin of error. So chasing a random number on a screen is just a fundamentally flawed way to measure the effectiveness of your training. And it gets even worse. Think about your posture on that machine. If you're leaning heavily on the handrails because you're tired, or maybe because your core is weak, you are actually doing significantly less work. In fact, you could be burning up to 50% fewer calories than you think. Half. So instead of staring at a digital lie, try focusing on your respiratory rate. If you're breathless, you're working hard. But always remember, no amount of heavy breathing is going to fix a weak core or those amnesiac glutes we talked about earlier. So, what's the bottom line? Building real, functional strength means building a body that is highly organized and incredibly stable. You don't always need to train to failure. Sometimes you just need to show up and do the quiet, focused work to fix the foundation. Focus on those static moves. And hey, if you're ready to stop guessing and actually follow a proper system for this, the Reset Your Body Blueprint is linked down in the description as a super helpful toolkit for real-world results. Oh, and if this explainer shifted your perspective even a little bit, make sure to subscribe to Past Visuals for more ways to train smarter. We've really seen today that dropping the ego, skipping the momentum, and doing absolutely nothing in a high-tension static hold might just be the hardest work your body has ever done. So I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Will you slow down your next set and finally feel the difference?